Hello, guys, and welcome to this week's episode. Yeah, we're in this, man.
We're already in this, man?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, we're in this, man. Welcome, guys. Welcome back. Come on in. Come on in. First thing I want to point out is our growth, man. We've reached 5K on YouTube. That's a big milestone for us. It wasn't too long ago that we were just at like 500. Like literally, it was not that long ago. and so it's special, man, especially to be at this point. I want to point out that we now offer a YouTube membership program where you can get even deeper into the Give and Go community. You can get more access to our videos. You can get early access to our videos, emojis, members-only live streams, all these benefits. I highly recommend that if you follow us on YouTube, if you're subscribed to us on YouTube, go check that out. It's only $5 and it helps out the channel a lot. Yeah. But yeah, man, what are your thoughts?
No,
5K.
I just want to say that I'm incredibly grateful and appreciative of all of the support that we've gotten, whether it's by liking our videos, commenting down below, subscribing, maybe you join and support us monetarily, but even if you don't, even if you leave a hate comment, any sort of engagement that leads to people talking about soccer, talking about football, that's what I love. So thank you guys so much for everything, and let's just keep growing this community.
That's a good point, man. I remember early on, like literally when we were doing our first shoot, something you said was, dude, if we just get even like 100 views on a video.
And
like,
that still stands
like
for me,
that,
man.
that is
I
all
don't
I
care.
need. Like just the fact people would listen to us talk. So
yeah.
We've surpassed that with incredible numbers that have fascinated me since day one. So just super thankful and excited to get this show on the road, man. So here's what I want to talk about right off the bat, man.
Yeah.
Me as a host of this show, proud host of the show, I really do take my job seriously here at the Give and Go as a host. I'm always thinking of how can I incorporate popular things going on within the landscape of the internet with football. I did it the other day with Speed. You know, Speed is popping off right now. Right. I Show Speed. We correlated that with football and how he's impacted the world of football and people being aware of the game. Will he ever meet Ronaldo?
Right.
And so I see this Andrew Tate guy pop up on my feed, man.
Who hasn't seen Andrew Tate? Yeah.
I see Andrew Tate and I'm like, man, how the hell do I relate this guy to football?
Right.
Because as a host, I gotta think content, man. I'm thinking how can I get something out of it? And then I got it, man. I got it. Andrew Tate is all about masculinity. He's all about alpha, all about being the biggest dude in the room.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, look, football has a good number of guys that we would consider in that category. And so I propose this question to you.
Okay.
Who is the biggest alpha in football?
I think the first name that comes to mind, and I think it comes to everybody's mind, is Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
I think it has to.
It just has to be.
I think it has to
be.
be.
The way he vocalizes his opinions, the way that he carries himself on and off the pitch, whether it's through interviews, whether it's through the style and the way that he plays football, it's Zlatan, baby. This man, this man is a top dog. But not only that, he knows it, and he wants everybody else to know it as well.
Yeah, man. I was stuck between him and Ronaldo for a little bit. I really was, because I think Ronaldo's
a good one.
Is in that category. But then I think about, man, like that asshole nature, man. Like Ronaldo doesn't have that all the way, man. I don't think he has it all the way that Zlatan does. Zlatan is like, it's embedded in him. He just has that naturally. He wants to be the biggest guy in the room, and you got to watch the way you talk to him, man, because you don't talk nice to him, and he'll hit you, bro. He'll damage you.
He'll do something to you.
He'll do something to you. Or at least there's always that fear.
Yeah.
And so who's the Andrew Tate of football? It's got to be Zlatan, man.
And I think by like a clear margin, too. Like you said, there are other candidates like Ronaldo, but it's Zlatan, man. Yeah. He is the Andrew Tate, if you had to make that analogy.
And so on the opposite side, who's the beta of football, bro? Who's the weakling? Who's the little weak guy out there just running around? It's like Minamino.
There's gotta be a good one that's like plays first division football, but just
always
gets undone, but still good enough to play.
Fuck, man, this is actually tough.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough because I don't know.
Because I don't want to.
I'd have to really think about that.
I don't want to confuse like overly humble for like
beta-ness.
Because I was thinking like Modric for a little bit. You know, Modric would never yell at you, but
But he's so crafty that you couldn't even touch him.
Yeah, he's too good.
Zlatan wouldn't be able to bully him if he wanted to, because Moses is too good.
Yeah.
Carious.
Shit. Next question I posed this question to our Instagram viewers is, what's the best celebration you've seen in football? Like the best celebration that I know for me, there's this clip that went around the realm of the internet where I think it was like an African league. It was one of the first times I've seen it. A goalkeeper scored a game winner, the bicycle kick.
Okay.
I don't remember his name. I don't remember the name of the team either.
Okay.
But I saw the clip. It was going viral. It was like I think the team was like tied going to the last minute. It's like a final. Like the stakes were as high as they've ever been.
Right.
And the goalkeeper goes up. He scores a goal. And then the dance that he proceeded with was incredible, bro.
No way.
He was like,
dude, I gotta see this highlight. Look at that. It's like he knew he was gonna score.
It was insane, man. It was like he'd been practicing that dance his whole life.
Right.
For the one time he would get the chance to score, and he fucking did it in the most miraculous way.
Oh my God.
It's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. That to me is my favorite one. The Shabalala one from South Africa, where they scored against Mexico in the inaugural game, was a big just moment. First off, for what it meant, but then also that little routine dance they did. It was a vibe.
Yeah, I mean the
Paul Aguilar's little.
Oh yeah, the broken chicken, the broken ostrich dance. Yeah, that's a good one. There's just a lot of vibes that you could get. There's a lot of dancing that happens like in Africa and South America.
Yeah.
There's like obviously just like iconic ones like Messi donning his jersey out to the crowd. There's Ronaldo's like exactly. Ronaldo's like basically signature at this point. So there's just you get so many flavors, especially back then when you would score, you take off your jersey, swinging around a little bit.
Yeah, the signing of the boots and throwing it. That was a popular one too.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, the more I think about it, there's so much variety.
There's so much variety, bro. It's like whatever you want, you could probably find it.
You probably get away with it. Yeah. Oh, it reminds me of something similar. I think there was a game that producer Rudd showed us where a team walked in with capes. They had capes on going into the goddamn game.
Oh yeah.
It's like, man, to what extent is
what can't you do on the pitch anymore?
Yeah. What happens outside of football in football? Like what is going to be allowed, man? It's gonna be crazy. Imagine like the Turkish national team pulling up to a World Cup with swords.
Right. You know? Right. Like ceremonial, and then they put it away or just some shit like that. Like, what do you do at that point?
Arches and shit. Yeah, it'd be fucking crazy. Like New Zealand, they do that dance before games.
Right.
I think I saw that at least in the NBA or something like that. Like,
I think it's like
FIBA World Cup.
It's like a tribal ceremonial thing.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I know what you mean.
What's the extent of the rules is the biggest question. You guys into any football conspiracies like UEFA poisoning Ronaldo in the '98 World Cup? I didn't know that happened.
I try to stray away from any conspiracies because it only upsets me. Like the idea, I remember when there was talk about how when UEFA would fix Champions League draws, when I heard that that's a possibility, I was like, don't tell me that.
Yeah, man.
Because like I want to have an innocent view of soccer to where I if Madrid draw Atleti in an early round, I want that to be because fate wanted that to happen, not because UEFA wanted that to happen. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want any idea of Atleti having an easy run or a hard run because someone decided and not because it was down to chance. I'd rather it always be down to chance the way it should be, and then from there, each respective club decides its own fate. But by fixing games like that, not even the result, just by fixing the draw-ups, that already decides some of the fate, in my opinion. So I want to just refuse that any of that exists. Because if I ever find out that that's concrete, man, I don't know if I'll watch soccer.
Dude, I don't
know if I'll watch.
I think that goes for all sports, man. I always feel like I naturally turn a blind eye to any sort of idea of there being a fixing involved, because it just ruins them. For me, it takes the magic out of a sport that's all magic. Like that's what does it for me. And then you take that out, but it's like it is a side that has to be acknowledged where there's a chance that some situations, some games have been played out in the way that people wanted them to play out.
Right.
I know that it is some very corrupt countries, like in Colombia during the Pablo Escobar era. He made sure his team fucking won, bro.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like,
and that's the thing. Like, it's not to say that I just deny it. Like, I understand that, like, for example, match fixing is a problem, or especially was like in the early 2000s and stuff like that. There was always scandals from pretty much honestly anywhere, even like big leagues like Italy. There's always match fixing scandals. I understand that. In those sense, I know that it's real and it is a problem, but what I like to see is that it gets notified. It usually gets like justified too, as far as like it goes to court. Somebody gets punished. So as long as that's happening, I'm okay. I'm okay because I know that the wrong things are being done right. Or they're getting righted.
Yeah, like Man City going to court for their financial expenditures.
Exactly,
is
like stuff like that, to where at least there's some exposure to, if there are conspiracies and they are true, someone's trying to fix them. Yeah, that's what gives me hope.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break to talk about our sponsor, NordVPN. That's right, NordVPN. Are you missing out on your favorite show because it's not available in your region? Trying to keep your private time private? Well, let me introduce NordVPN. We all love to binge, but privacy is a big deal too. NordVPN keeps your information encrypted, so you never have to worry about your IP or location getting out. And I mean, in general, I think it's pretty important to have a service like NordVPN, especially in the footballing world.
Yeah, man, I'm a really big fan of actually being able to change my IP address, especially when it comes to like consuming other footballing content. Because like, Sky Sports or like Premier League channels in general on YouTube sometimes only have UK specific content that you can access on YouTube. So like there's some good like Gary Neville stuff that I really like listening to, but I'm able to do that if I like put my IP address location to something like the UK. So NordVPN is perfect for that.
Using our link, nordvpn.com/giveandgo, you can receive a huge discount on a 2-year plan plus 1 free month. I'll say it one more time, nordvpn.com/giveandgo. Use our promo code and you'll get a great discount to help you get introduced into this service and just reaping the benefits of roaming the internet securely.
Did you see that Atleti are technically rumored to sign Ronaldo?
I saw that.
You saw that?
I saw it again, man. But it's the same thing as Barcelona.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing, bro. None of it is honestly. There's probably no truth in it. It's literally just rumor.
It's just bar talk, man.
Yeah, but like, isn't it annoying how that gets out and someone makes an article about it? That's annoying to me.
I feel like that's Spanish media, man. I feel like if we're talking media outlets, bro, I think Spain and England are the worst.
The worst, bro. Because it's like, look at me in the face and tell me that Ronaldo's actually linked to Atletico Madrid. Yeah. Tell me. And obviously they won't be able to do it. So it's just bull, man. It's a stupid rumor. Now, could we use them? Absolutely. Now, could we use a guy like Ronaldo?
Man, but that's a man that he abused you guys for years. Like, you don't accept that into your house.
Right. Like, a big type of comment was the idea that, like, especially because I don't know if you remember, but when Atletico played Juventus in the Champions League round of 16, there was a whole moment where like Ronaldo copied or made fun of Diego Simeone's celebration. Yeah. So like to shake his hand as a player after that, man.
Jesus.
Yeah, man. The disrespect.
Yeah.
The disrespect.
There's levels to it, man. And the Ronaldo stuff is starting to get annoying because I'm starting to feel like he's just staying, man. He's just not going anywhere.
He's staying. He tried. Honestly, I think he gave it a good go as far as like, hey, maybe if I put in a request, a club will snatch me up. Like, honestly, like maybe PSG will come and get me is honestly what I think Ronaldo thought. But once pretty much all the big clubs denied him, he's like, all right, well, I'm just going to start getting ready for United.
It's like when you're with your boys, you're like, hey, guys, I'm going to head out early tonight. And they're just like, no, you're not.
Exactly.
You stay for another drink. And then
exactly.
Boom, he's just there.
He's there. And he's happy to be there too.
I think so.
So it's like, this whole thing has just been so annoying. Ronaldo's going to stay at Man U, and he's going to have a pretty good season. As a Mexico fan, bro, you get one choice. Lozano or Pulisic. You get one.
Shit. Oh, it's Pulisic, man.
Yeah.
I think during the 2018 World Cup, when Chucky had an incredible goal against Germany. He had a good World Cup. I thought during that moment, I thought he was surpassing Pulisic, who wasn't even there.
Yeah, he wasn't even there.
But you look at everything that's happened from that moment to now.
Wow.
And there's not much to argue. There's not much in the argument for Lozano being above Pulisic now.
Yeah.
There's barely any moments for Lozano for you to pick from, man. Because even like leading up to the 2018 World Cup,
point.
I remember he was active in our World Cup qualifying, like scoring goals. I remember he had a really nice goal against Canada on like a breakaway. He was active. He was assisting. He was really good. But he wasn't all the way there this past cycle, man. He was just good enough to get that starting position, but they rotated him out. He got injured, which is a big part of it too. But
He did.
the spark that he used to have was not there, and it's concerning going into this World Cup because I don't see us having the same Chucky we had 4 years ago. And then you look at Pulisic, I think he just continued to trend upwards.
Yeah.
He was incredible. The World Cup qualifier, scored against Mexico, carried the team to...
He was the offensive leader.
Yeah.
He really was.
Yeah.
When the U.S. needed a go-to guy to... Even if it wasn't creating an assist or a goal-scoring chance, just a guy that could wreak havoc offensively, it was Christian Pulisic, man. And he did it at such a efficient and effective rate.
Yeah. And I also thought that with Chucky being at PSV, I thought he would... he was incredible there. And then he earned the right to go to Napoli.
He earned it.
Yeah, which seemed like the right move. And then I just kind of expected him to do the same at Napoli, to just thrive in Serie A, go off, and then move to like the Premier League or La Liga.
Yeah.
But instead, he had trouble with a lot of the coaches that went through that cycle there, and he just couldn't find a starting role. And I don't think it was the coach's fault. I think it's because he just wasn't good enough at the end of the day for that team.
Yeah.
And so now it's just awkward, man. It's awkward with him in Napoli. Like he's getting, every time he goes to go play in Mexico, he comes back injured as fuck.
Yeah.
His like leg hurts him, his shoulder hurts him. Napoli's like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, I think he's becoming sort of a headache for Napoli fans. And the fact that he just hasn't lived up to that potential is gonna ultimately decide where he goes next. Like I'm really interested to see what ends up being Chucky's next move. Is it low key a downgrade?
It's Liga MX.
Damn,
No,
man.
seriously, where does he go after this, man? Because Napoli has been overall, like you just said it, but I've never really put it into deep thought. Napoli hasn't been bad, but for the trajectory that Lozano was on, it's been bad.
Yeah. Dude, that's crazy. I don't know if Liga MX, but I could see him probably going back to the Netherlands or maybe going to Portugal or maybe like a level like that.
I could see like a Portugal type of move
maybe
for
a
him.
lower level French team. But it just sucks because at one point I was like, he's gonna go from like Napoli to like Manchester United,
right,
to Tottenham, or something like that.
Realistically,
he was on that trajectory, but it's Pulisic for now, man. Pulisic for now.
Yeah, and forever.
Hey folks, producer Rudd here, asking the question from flowers.014. What's your favorite jersey from the ones you own? And I'll add if you have a story behind it.
Favorite jerseys from the ones we own. I think for me it has to be the France 2006 jersey, World Cup blue jersey. That was my favorite one. Yeah. Those two jerseys that they had, the home and away, that was white. Some of my favorite in the history of the sport. Classic. And so the fact that I found it at a Buffalo Exchange, I found it at just a thrift shop.
Oh yeah,
I was like, no fucking way. It fit me perfectly.
Nice.
Like to me, that was just like a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite one.
Dang.
Yeah.
Mine's easy too. It's the Atletico Madrid home kit, Antoine Griezmann on the back. Oh. But when he was the number 7, when he was in his first stint with Atleti. That was an easy one. I actually bought the jersey in Madrid. So,
oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's home soil type jersey.
Wow.
But yeah, it's such an easy one, obviously, because Colchonero for life. But not only that, I saw Griezmann in his infancy rise to the star that he would eventually be and just reach the heights that he reached with Atleti. To own a number 7 Antoine Griezmann Atletico home kit, special, I can't compare it to anything else.
Special. Spanish infused.
It's special, bro.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I want to hear what the viewers think. What's the best jersey that you own? And tell me why. Tell me the story behind it.
Love to read these
stories here, man. What top player from the past would be able to compete in today's evolved game? Give me Thierry Henry back on the pitch peak Thierry Henry. Get me him.
That's a good one.
At the Etihad Stadium, Arsenal versus Manchester City. Get me there in that spotlight. Big game player, incredible skill set. But beyond all, man, what I liked about Thierry Henry was his attitude on the pitch. He had flair to him, but he also had this like Kobe-like mindset.
Yeah, where he's going to work harder than you.
Yes.
Coupled with the fact that he's also insanely skilled.
Insanely technical. And I think he would do great in today's era where like everything is clipped up, everything is seen. Like he already has a lot of cool highlights, like where he juked out a player really quickly, like in the middle of a game, and then just progressed with the ball forward. Or where he like, there's this insane goal where he back turned to the goal, receives it with his chest, turns around, boost that ball into the net, and it's a fucking beauty. Like, I just think he would be a highlight machine. House of Highlights would love him. BR Football would love him.
Yeah,
everyone would love this guy, and he gives off a great interview as well. He's great on screen. We've seen that with his post.
He's got a little charisma to him.
Yeah, he's got charisma.
Yeah.
I think to have him be part of that French squad would be incredible right now, and I think his talent and his skill just immediately transcends into the modern game.
Yeah.
I think he just fits perfectly. What's the most iconic soccer fight?
I remember there was this one Brazilian game, Internacional player. I don't know what happened, but I think he was just getting shtick from his own crowd. And he takes off his jersey. Like, it's like the equivalent of burning your own jersey. He takes it off, like tries to rip it up, throws it down on the ground, flips off the crowd, and he just like walks off the pitch. And I was like, my God.
What the fuck? I haven't seen that. I gotta see highlights from that.
Yeah, insane, bro. It was like mutiny, and then he said, "Fuck it, I welcome this. Like, I'm done. Like,
oh my God.
I'm never gonna play another game for this club. I'm out."
Completely gave up on the pitch. Like, he just gave up on the team.
Yeah. He just gave up. Well, because the fans also gave up on him.
Yeah.
We've seen it before. I think Chivas had a moment like that too.
Yeah. But I think Brawl, I mean, I'm thinking Liga MX has had a good number. There was that one between America and Tigres, no? A few years back. Shit. In the playoffs. It was just like the game ended and then it got feisty afterwards.
Yeah.
I know that actually, if you look at the Premier League, there was a fight that broke out. I remember with Eden Hazard. He wanted the ball back. It was like an FA Cup game or something.
Yeah.
And one of the ball boys just wouldn't give him the ball. And so he like goes up to the kid and he fucking kicks him. Or at least it looks like he does.
Right.
And like the kid obviously sells the shit out of it. He's like, oh my God, I've been hurt by a football player.
Sells it.
And that costs a little bit of a fight too.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often. I mean, because most altercations in football are very verbal, or they're just small, like little altercations where it's just, a lot of pushing. And it does get heated, but it never really goes that extra mile to where it's an actual brawl.
Right.
It's very rare, bro. Very rare.
I think one of the better ones this past season was Man City Atletico. I loved how feisty that game got. I love how with Phil Foden and what's the name of your center back? The
Felipe
and the other guy, the Croatian guy.
Oh yeah.
He was really not having it. Savage. Yeah. He was really not having it from Phil Foden that game, and I love seeing that build up because from the get go he was on his ass, and it ultimately culminated in Phil Foden like selling this foul, and Savage not liking it. Felipe got a red card, and then it got feisty, and I loved it.
Oh,
man.
dude, I loved it.
That was a good one.
The City players were pissed because of just the style of football that was being played, and they felt disrespected by that. A little bit, and man. I loved that. Like they loved that. They were above this type.
They
were above it. But what's funny is that if Correa could have just finished, it would have gone extra time.
Oh my God!
It's all up to Correa, not the style of football that why Atleti lost.
Yeah, man. That was such a good game too because I remember for like 30 minutes, Man City couldn't complete a pass.
Nah.
And that was so weird to see from Man City this past season, to see them like that. But if you had the opportunity to create a new rule in football, what would it be?
I wouldn't change a single thing.
Nothing?
Not a single thing.
Nothing.
I would
not even the way that they maybe.
I was gonna say
maybe not having kids come out with the players.
The only thing I would change is make the referee like a perfect robot. That's about it.
Okay.
That way there's zero refereeing mistakes. That's the only thing that I would change. But as far as like how the game is run, as far as all the rules that are in place, as far as like what dictates a yellow, what dictates a red, even how penalties are called. I like it all. Even the handball now, because they've gotten better about it recently. They've gotten better about like what is a handball when it comes to like giving a penalty.
Yeah.
If it like that perfected version of what they call it now, it's getting close to it.
Yeah.
I like where football is right now, man. I really do. I wouldn't change a goddamn thing.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I think more minimally, like smaller. Like maybe the distance between, I don't know, a corner kick being taken short. Like how close can the defender get to that offensive player?
Okay.
Maybe ceremonial stuff. like having kids come out. I don't know if I'm too fond of that anymore, man.
Yeah.
Maybe we change him to
Jesus.
Maybe change him to producer Rudd's suggestion, supermodels. You know, have supermodels come up instead of kids, man.
Jeez,
incredible
man.
for the sport.
You know what's funny though is that like, so obviously the NBA, the 3-point line wasn't always where it is at today. So extending that kind of changed the game, but then obviously players adapted and they themselves changed the game.
Yeah.
I think an equivalent type of change in football would be to expand the dimensions of the goal. So either expand or diminish them. If you were to like make a goal a foot higher or a foot wider, it'd completely change it, because think of how many shots hit the post.
Yep.
Those would automatically now become goals if you expand it. Or if you truncate it, think of how many goals just wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like the equivalent of like moving a 3-point line is expanding or diminishing the dimensions of a goal.
That would be it'd be very close to that.
It'd be game changing. It'd be game changing.
I'm thinking what other little rule changes could happen, like could there ever be a situation where a goal is worth 2 goals?
Honestly, even a goal from outside the box.
Yeah.
You'd get a lot more trigger happy players, because why not just shoot?
So trigger happy.
Why not just shoot? I mean, it would only align with what they're asking you to do.
Yeah.
You want more goals, shoot from further out. So exactly. That's like another equivalent.
I will say that I feel like there's something that could be done about throw-ins. I don't know what it is.
Arsene Wenger recently suggested to, instead of do throw-ins, just do kick-ins. Like how you do in youth soccer. Remember when you're like 5 years old, you don't do throw-ins?
Yeah.
You actually just kick it from where it goes out?
Yeah.
That's what Wenger actually has suggested.
Wait, that's what he suggested?
Yeah.
Because wouldn't every throw-in then become like a free kick?
If you're close enough, yeah. Which is also why it could be interesting.
Yeah.
But obviously the bigger point why he wanted to do it is because throw-ins are just so weird. You don't use your hands at all, but all of a sudden, if the ball just goes out of bounds, now you can launch the ball into the box if you're close enough, especially. Yeah. So he thinks that's weird. But the second reason why he did it wasn't because of the set piece idea, was because let's say it goes out anywhere in that middle third, you would just immediately put the ball back into play, rather than having to like
instead of going through the whole act
of putting it behind, like it would just ultimately be just a little quicker. Just a little quicker. I've actually always thought, like, real talk here, I've always thought that the red card is the harshest call in all of sports, because a lot of red cards are accidental. A lot of them. So think of the punishment that comes after an accident. It's immense. Mm-hmm. If you do something, if you slip and your studs are up and they make contact with another player's ankle or shin, that's a red card, right? Yeah. Or if you're just a little clumsy, which I think is fair to assume a certain percentage of clumsiness when you're going for a tackle. But if you do it just in that right bad way, it's a red card. And if you do it early enough in the game, you've doomed your team. Doomed. Fuck. Yeah. So I've always thought that red cards are the harshest calls in all of sports.
Yeah, so you think a way to better gauge a player getting a red card than like having another parameter to decide?
Yes. If it's purely accidental and didn't truly threaten the health of the opponent, like, because obviously like clashes are aggressive, but you know that the player is ultimately going to be okay. Yeah. If you can, and you can use VAR to decide this, then maybe again make the player sit out for like 15 minutes. Yeah. And then bring him back on.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be interesting.
So much more fair and just, like, straight up.
Imagine how so many games would have played out if the player just sat out for like 15 minutes instead of
and they have to
45.
Exactly.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Or like longer if they get a red in the first half.
Good
Dude,
Lord.
you're screwed if you get like anytime any of the teams I'm rooting for gets a red card, I immediately like just lose all hope.
And I think I personally would like that just because on FIFA, I have a very aggressive approach. So, like, in that sense, it would help me a lot, man.
Yeah,
I've
man,
doomed
yeah.
us so many times, bro.
People on all
time
facets of the game
would
rejoice.
benefit.
Yeah.
Who would have the most Ballon d'Ors in the last 15 years if there was no Messi and Ronaldo? But it's tough because I think it would be a lot like the 2000s era. Like 2000 to 2010 was an example of like before Messi and Ronaldo came onto the scene, like how they did this past decade. Obviously, they started like in 2006, 2007. They started rising.
Right.
But in the 2000s, we saw like 9 different winners win the Ballon d'Or.
Right.
So I think we would see a lot of that. I think it would be a variety of like Mane could have gotten it one year. Benzema.
Yeah.
Neymar.
Yeah.
Suarez. I think it'd be a lot of that. A lot of mixture, variety. I don't know if we'd see a player win multiple. Iniesta. Xavi.
Yeah.
They would definitely be up there.
Right. Maybe
I mean,
Lewandowski at
Maybe
one
Lewandowski,
point.
yeah.
It's interesting because my gut is telling me that it would probably be a Madrid player that would get the most solely because of the Champions Leagues, right? Which are obviously very, very highly regarded in the footballing community as far as like who is the best player, right?
Yeah.
Definitely, I think a World Cup year that would probably decide the Ballon d'Or that year.
Yeah.
But that's only 2-3 out of the 10 available.
Yeah.
So if there's 7 Ballon d'Ors available and Madrid wins a couple Champions Leagues, because they won 5 with Ronaldo, but I feel like they could have won a couple of them without him, honestly. So who would have been that next guy?
That's a good one. Real Madrid's a good one to look at.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would have given it to like a defender because it was so important that during that time, like Sergio Ramos.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I low key want to put Ramos as winning like maybe like at least one.
Yeah.
Which is really unheard of because defenders don't win Ballon d'Ors.
Yeah, I think also a lot of the people that ended in third behind Messi and Ronaldo would win, like Griezmann.
Griezmann,
third.
he had a phenomenal year. Yeah,
Lewandowski,
phenomenal year.
he was second, I think. Virgil van Dijk was second as well, I think, another year.
There you go.
Manuel Neuer was in the top 3 at one point. Iniesta and Xavi were involved in one year when Messi won it. Yeah, I think it'd just be a lot of variety. I don't know if we'd see back-to-back winners the way that Messi and Ronaldo did. I just don't.
I agree because what other player has been consistently at the top during this time? I don't know. Because like you could even say Neymar, yeah, sure, he's dazzled and he's one of the most talented players and he's proven that. But he has been at the top for that long. Right. And, we know what's happened with PSG over these last 5 years. So it's just, I don't know. It's interesting. Although, that's a good point, though. Barcelona, even without Messi, when they had Neymar, Luis Suarez, Iniesta, and Xavi a little bit in that earlier stage, definitely one of them. Something there. There's something there where one of them would have won it at least once, maybe even twice.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, it's just an interesting question because it's just crazy that Messi and Ronaldo ended up doing that. Like, that we are having to think about the opposite side. I feel like they've normalized winning multiple awards like this when it should have never been like this. Like, it was never like this in the past where a player just dominated the best player of the world award. Yeah. But they've normalized it. They made a thing that we should expect. And we're surprised when we think about a different reality where players are sharing the award almost instead of just dominating it one by one.
Such a good point because you got me thinking now, once Messi and Ronaldo do finally just hang up their boots, I see it going back. Yeah. Where the next 10 Ballon d'Ors, it's just going to be a variety. It's just going to be a player who's just completely informed for that 1 year. Yeah. And then the next year, it's going to go to the next player who pops off at a World Cup. Then the next year, it's going to go to a player who had a really good Champions League campaign. Yeah. It's just going to be, I think, a lot of variety in the next decade, which honestly, I'm here for.
Yeah, I think it starts off with Benzema winning it this year, right? Yeah. Which would be nice for a player that's not Messi or Ronaldo to win it. I think he wins it this year.
Yeah, I think so.
But we even had another question that was proposing the idea of if Messi has a good World Cup and even goes on to win it, same with Ronaldo, if he goes on to win the World Cup with Portugal, I just don't see, they would have to do just the bare minimum in the league to be deserving of the Ballon d'Or, I feel like.
Dang, that's what's tricky about this, though, because the Ballon d'Or is always like in January, right? It's a calendar year. So
they're changing that. They changed it. They're doing now. They're following the actual footballing season now. Yeah,
Gotcha.
they announced that last year.
Gotcha.
Where after this last one, they said that they would start tracking the progress of the players when the season starts.
Makes so much more sense.
It's so much more sense,
bro.
So much more sense.
Oh, okay. So then in that case, they'd be able to take into account a good World Cup performance plus their club experience throughout that season.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in that case, if we're talking that, if Messi wins the World Cup, just as you said, he'd have to do the bare minimum in the league.
Yeah.
Bare minimum.
Yeah.
And he'd win it.
Yeah. I think that goes for, honestly, if there's a standout player in the World Cup winning team this year, like standout player, that guy is probably gonna have it set. Just has to do the bare minimum. If he
that's it.
Yeah, you gotta be like Champions League football. Maybe I don't see anything outside of that.
Right.
But like, you gotta go far. You gotta go far in the World Cup to be able to earn that right.
I think so.
But man, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out this year. We got the World Cup coming in a few months, and my God, that is gonna be a jam-packed month for us. We're gonna give you guys everything we have. But remember, to support us, make sure to go buy our merch and go join the YouTube Give and Go community, man. We got a lot of content just popping off in there, and so be a part of it, man. Well, have a good one, guys. We'll catch y'all.
Peace.